Life Science. I have done my post graduation in veterinary microbiology, and basically I'm from a state called Kerala in India. So in this meeting, I'll be introducing about Dr. Nitin V. Kurkure sir. So he's the director of research at Maharashtra Animal and Fishery Science University in Nagpur, with over 3 decades of distinguished service in veterinary science and research. He holds an MBSc and a PhD in veterinary pathology and has been honored as a fellow of both the National Academy of Veterinary Science in 2023 and the Indian Association of Veterinary Pathology 2021. Dr. Kurkure has held academic and research positions including visiting professor at Chonnam National University, South Korea, and has guided numerous postgraduate and doctoral scholars. A prolific researcher, and he has authored over 232 research papers, 6 book chapters, and documented 212 gene sequences on NCBI with an H index of 28. He has successfully led several major national projects funded by ICAR, DBT, and ICMR, focusing on zoonosis, molecular epidemiology, and antimicrobial resistance. Dr. Kurkure has also handled over 12 industry funded projects and contributed as a co investigator in many more. And is a recipient of 14 awards, including the Young Scientist Award, University Best Teacher Award twice, and prestigious DBT Cust Fellowship. And he has made significant contribution to veterinary pathology, epidemiology, and One Health initiatives. With a strong vision for translational research and global collaboration, Dr. Nitin Kurkure continues to drive impactful innovations in animal health and veterinary sciences. So, a wholehearted welcome to Dr. Nitin Kurkure sir. So, we'll be handing over the session to Kurkure sir. And before that, we just wanted to inform everyone attending the meeting that you might have seen this on the advertisements regarding or the posters regarding our webinar. 3 lucky participants who are participating in this webinar will be selected at the end of the webinar who has got 100% attendance in the Zoom meeting. We'll be monitoring that. Who has got complete attendance in the complete webinar. And from that, 3 lucky people will be selected and will be announced in the meeting itself. And the most valued gift will be given to the winners through the VSM or sales managers at the specific region where the winner is being selected from. So, everyone, please be attentive till the end of the meeting. Please be the points or the things which are going to be discussed by Dr. Kurkure would be very much useful for everyone. So please be attentive and try to maintain 100% attendance so that you will have an additional chance of getting and gift or being a lucky winner in this webinar. So,
welcome, Dr. Kurkure sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning. Can you listen me? Hello, can you listen me? Hello, can you listen me? I'm not getting. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Now you are the host.
So,
You can start presenting, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Abhijit, for a very lucrative introduction of mine. And at the start only, I thank Ashish Life Science, Dr. Navneet and his team for inviting me for this webinar.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, can you please turn on your video? Your video is not visible.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So thanks both of you and whole of the team of Ashish Life Science for inviting me for this webinar. Thank you very much. All the participants and all the panelists, please accept greetings of the day. Some may be in the morning, some may be in the afternoon, some may be evening. So I don't say, but just say, I say hello wherever you are. Hello to you and accept the greetings of the day. I will share my presentation. So I guess you can see this. Okay, thank you. Okay. So the topic which was given to me was about the how to minimize the production cost and what are the practical farm solutions to optimize the poultry productivity. Uh, so I could guess that there are the people from all over the globe. Some from the eastern side of the India, some are from India, and some are from the western side of India. So my presentation is not very specific to any country or any specific topic, but it's an bird overview about the poultry production system, maybe broiler or egg type of bird or a meat type of bird. What what we should do it if you are practicing poultry husbandry or poultry medicine for a certain period of time, you may be aware of these terms and uh, the terminology used in this, or you might have practiced also many of the things which I will be telling you. But if not, you can, if you need more clarification on it, just make a point and write down in your notes and then put it in a chat box so that we can discuss it later on. So coming to the topic itself, the any animal husbandry system or poultry husbandry system has a three component of it. One is the production and one is marketing. Profitability depends on reducing the production cost and increasing the selling cost. It's a basic concept. You don't need to be a financial advisor to say these words. So in this production cost, majority of the expenditure it goes on the feed. So efficient feed management is the key. Then a lot of expenditure happens on the health management. So that may include biosecurity, vaccination, and other health management issues. So you have to be very serious on it. Then another expenditure is on the manpower or personal expenses, which you have your farm, or if you are integrator, or if you have vertical integration from grandparent, parent, commercial, and then selling. There's a lot of manpower is or human resource is required, and there is a lot of expenditure on it. And there is another thing which is very important, though it is not very easily been traced out, but there are a lot of thefts also happens. Some are like at the production level itself, some are at the marketing level, some are in between somewhere. So if we minimize this theft, automatically your profitability increases. And last is most important is marketing. Most effective and efficient marketing is the key of profit. So we'll take one by one all these things, one by one. So coming to the production enhancement, as I told you, there are two things. One is the production cost. So in production cost, either you minimize the cost of production or increase the productivity. So if you increase the productivity, the cost per gram or per egg will reduce. Per gram produce or per egg produce will be reduced. So for this, four are the basic pillars of this. One is breed. What breed you select for the rearing, for integration, for the your business. Selection of the breed. Globally, there are different breeders which have different breeds. Each breed has some good point and each breed has some bad points. Bad in the sense about the performance, I'm saying. So you have to select it wisely. I will take it later. Then next major input is feed. Feed quality. Feed is the 70% expenditure of your production. So good quality feed. Then management, how you manage the birds, because management is directly related to the production. And last, fourth pillar is the health and biosecurity. In intensive production system, like we have, if you see the density of the bird per square kilometer or per square meter, it is very high in commercial farming. So because of this, the birds, they are more vulnerable for the diseases because of the high density. So in this aspect, the health and biosecurity is an important aspect to take care for the increase in the productivity. So first, now we will take in the production cost, efficient feed management. In feed, efficient feed management, if I ask you what is the indicator for this, so all of you will say feed conversion ratio is an indicator of feed management. So feed conversion ratio is, is an indicator and it encompasses many of the things from formulation to technology to delivery and nutrient utilization, what is incorporated in that, everything. If you put in a feed and how good it is, that will be reflected by FCR. So ratio of input to the output is a FCR. What you are, how much you are putting in that and how much you are getting out of it. In India, if you say these figures may vary globally with the country to country, different climatic zones. So in broilers, in India, for we have 1.53 FCR average. This is what average. There are certain integrators which has a FCR of 1.4, 1.43, and there are certain commercial, not very technically advanced farmers. They have 1.65, 1.7 also there. So this is a roughly average. Then for layers, it is approximate 1.5 kg feed per dozen of eggs. In India, we sell per dozen of eggs. Maybe in some countries, it is been sold by weight or per kg or per gram or like that. But in India, what we have, it is roughly 1.5 kg of feed per dozen of eggs. So the basic thing is that if you want to increase revenue, just improve the FCR. It is not that simple to say, just improve FCR. It's a magic stick I'm giving to you, and there will be increase in the revenue. There are different ways and means how we can improve the feed conversion ratio. Those we will see now one by one. So to see this, to improve the FCR and reduce feed cost, first is the keep efficient breeds. On this globe, there are different breeds, as I mentioned earlier, whether you are selecting it for egg type or a meat type. At least there are not less than 10 breeds for each type of bird is there. You have to see which is the efficient breed, which work best in your climatic zone. Maybe a breed, I don't take a name of certain breeds, but a breed if you take, it may perform in Indonesia, it may not perform in African country. The bird which is performing in African country may not perform in India because of different climatic zone, different climatic situation. The raw material which is available in that respective country will be different. And the breed which is performing best in India may not perform in Indonesia or Thailand or some other part of the country. So you have to do a certain survey and please see that the breed which is very, very efficient that you select. And second thing, the marketing is also very, very different in each of these country. Like if you take example of India, Indians are very fond of leg and thigh piece, very least bothered about breast meat. But other part of the globe, it is more the breast meat which is preferred. So breeds which has a more output for the breast meat will be preferred by the outside India or South Asia, but within the India, it will be more leg and thigh meat that will be preferred. So, like that, what I mean to say, depending on the need of or preference of the people in that country and performance of the breed for that character, for that trait, whatever the trait which is preferred by that persons in that country, you have to choose the efficient breed, and that will give you good results. Proper balancing of the ration. This is the key of any feed formulation. I Today's lecture is not on that, but still it is very, very important to have the balanced ration, very good formulation. If you are nutritionist, if you are a veterinarian, wonderful. But still, if your operations are more, if you are dealing with the larger number of the birds, it is better to have a third party feed formulation for you. You may be expert in that, but still it is better to have the review of the formulation which you have made. This is my suggestion. If you are a big operator from integration, vertically integrated company, use appropriate feed additive and supplement. I'm not suggesting A or B or Z, but appropriate depending on the formulation and the raw material which you are using, and what is required, what is missing, and what will help to get the maximum nutrient utilization from that feed. That you have to choose the additives and supplements. Then very important thing is don't feed more. The experience is that the feed losses are high if you feed more. This case is not seen in egg type of bird, but mostly in the meat type of bird, that is broiler. If you offer more feed, the losses are more and it reflects the FCR. So the feeders should have feed, but it should be 80% feed. This is my experience and my advice to the person, those who are in contact with me. It should have field, but not 100% field. It should be 80%, 85% field, and then only you can prevent the losses. Feeding techniques, there are different feeding techniques. Automatic feeding system is there, hanging feeding system is there, some channel feeding systems are there. You can use whatever is affordable to you. Maybe automatic feeding system is good. You can use it, but you have to see the cost benefit ratio of that for your settings. If farm is small, farm is big, the settings will decide whether the cost benefit ratio fits into that, and then choose the appropriate feeding technique, feeding times, feeding frequency. That will be more useful to you. And last, it's a pelleting. You have to condense the all nutrient in a pellet form and then give it to the birds instead of mash. Though in some part of India also, we have seen that mash feeding and pellet feeding, the FCR is near about same, only difference is 0.05 maximum. But still, I would prefer that if you are a big farm or integrator, big integrator, or the farm is more than 5,000 meat type of bird or 5,000 egg type of bird, it is better to have the pelleting. It will improve the FCR and reduce the feed cost. Pelleting has its own benefit. That feed is more palatable, it is more digestible, and you can manipulate also the feed ingredients in very nice manner. So pelleting is beneficial to improve the FCR. Then coming to, I'm putting a very larger perspective. If you are a very big integrator from GP, parents, and commercial and selling also, try to think for growing your own ingredients. Integration is not only of the poultry, from grandparent, parent, and commercial, or parent to commercial. You have to think beyond that and make back integration of having your own maize, soya, or these things. I have not put soya here because in Indian settings, the soya is produced by farmer, it is sold to the oil companies, and DOC is given by the oil companies to the poultry farmers. If it is possible to have your own uh, soya extraction plant or something like that, it's nothing like that, but it is very uh, expensive or money involved is very high. So I don't suggest to everyone at this point, but if it is better, you can do it. But at least you can do the back integration for maize, identify the farmers, how much maize is required for you over the period of 1 year, and for that, how much land will be required, and make the back integration with the farmer for 110% of the maize. Like if you need 100 ton, just an example, or 1000 ton, make a integration for 1100 ton, 10% plus minus. If it is there, you purchase it, fine. But as the production depends on the climate, there may be sometimes there may be reduction. If you consider 10% reduction, in back integration, always calculate 110%. That you can do. If all integration is not possible, at least whatever is possible, 50%, 60%, 70%, that integration should be made for the ingredients. Example is maize, but whatever is required, that you can go for. Next and very important thing is purchase of the ingredients and supplements in a bulk. This purchasing of the ingredients in a bulk or in a cash or whatever the terms you have, it gives you a bargaining power. It gives you tremendous bargaining power. Even the sellers is also interested in you because you are buying in bulk, and that will immediately affect the cost of feed. So if you yourself is not very big farmer or a big integrator, you can have your neighbors or friends together, combine the order and buy it. So this will mutually, this is what we call it in India as a cooperative movement. So by cooperating with each other gives you a bargaining power and the cost of the purchase can be reduced. Then planning of purchase ahead of the time. I mean, whatever the animals, poultry population you have today, what you have planned for the next year,
Hello, sir.
for the all purchases
Sorry
you
for
have to plan for the,
interrupting.
sorry.
Sorry, sir. 1 second. Temichu was asking in the chat box that, hello, everyone. There is no option to make my mic on so that I can ask questions whenever I need. Sir, can you just tell that so everyone can put your questions in the chat box? So once the presentation or the first presentation is over by Dr. N.V. Kurkure sir, after that we will be discussing with individual questions separately. So you can put the questions in the webinar chat so that questions are visible for the panelist and the presenter. So according to the order of the questions, we will be answering to each and every questions. So need not be a concern that your mic is not on. So we are not allowing everyone's mic to be on is because we want to reduce the maximum distractions. So please bear with that and you can put your questions in the webinar chat so that it will be visible for us and we can discuss at the end of the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Abhijit. The next point is look for the alternative sources. You see now over the period of time and over this last decade, the cost of protein and energy both are increasing. Like maize is diverted for some other purpose. Soya, a lot of time we depend on the import or the production is not very consistent. In-house, in-country production is not consistent. So in that situation, we can see for the alternative sources available in our own country, analyze it properly. Analyze means not only just nutritional value, but its toxicants or its anti-nutritional factors, and all those needs to be studied. And then with the use of proper additives, proper supplements, or processing of that ingredient, you can reduce the cost of feed formulation. I don't say that it will replace all 100% of the maize and all 100% of the soya DOC or something. But if you are able to replace at least 20%, the cost of feed will be reduced. These alternative sources should be looked for their merits and demerits both. For the demerits, we can have a solution how to overcome them and use it in the uh, ration. Then comes the efficient feed technology. Feed technology has a different aspect. It is not only the formulation which decides the FCR. The processing technology is also very, very important. Processing means the grinding, mixing, which mixer you have, vertical mixer you have, horizontal mixer you have, how much time you mix, how much clearing is there. Like in vertical mixer, the clearing is not 100%, whereas in horizontal, there is a good clearing is there, but it is a more expensive kind of such. There are a lot of things which starts with the grinding to the packing in the gunny bags. Nowadays, no gunny bags, but we pack in a 50 kg bag. So all these is a feed technology, and it is not a veterinary science. It is not animal science. It is not a poultry science. It's a typical mechanical engineering job. So instead of relying on your own or on your own knowledge, you can have a very good mechanical engineer consultant for this and do the fit technology. How much grain you should break, how much time it should be broken so that nutrient availability can be increased. Many of the people I have seen in my country, at least in India, they ignore this technology part. And this is very important to make the nutrient available to the birds. The grain size, development of organ, it is directly related. Size of the grain, though it is in pellet, but size of the individual grain to the gizzard development is directly related. So that you should look after. If you see this, this will definitely help you to reduce the feed cost, and ultimately increasing the production of the birds. So if you see this in the this growth supplements are there, which are there from the Ashish Life Sciences. Whatever the nutrients they are deficient in the diet, though you add it, I know you add it, but the requirement of the bird is more. So in that case, you can give the additional supplement. There are different liquids and powders which are available to boost up immunity, to supply the calcium, and all these you can add. Or liver tonics is there to improve the nutrient utilization of the feed by the birds, commercial bird, maybe egg type or meat type. You can use this and improve the profit. Second aspect is the next, this was about feed and feed production. Next is biosecurity and prevention of the diseases. Diseases which may be A, B, C, or D, it's always disastrous. Maybe the intensity of disastration will be different, but diseases will be always disastrous. And to prevent this, best thing is the biosecurity. Now, biosecurity is, if you say how should be the biosecurity, biosecurity is basic principle of the biosecurity is to prevent the entry of disease on the farm. Also, the disease agent should not go outside of the farm. So prevent the entry as well as spread is the basic concept. For this, there can be a very expensive techniques available, or there can be a very minimum expensive techniques available. You have to choose this wisely, which is affordable to you. Biosecurity can be very, very expensive or can be minimum expensive. If you use wisely, the results are very good. Results are very good. So basically on farm, from where the diseases comes mostly from the bird itself. Like on the commercial poultry farm or commercial farm, you buy the chicks. If you are regularly changing the vendor of the chicks, I'm very sure that you will have a lot of distress. So introduction of the chicks and bird is a very important thing that brings lot of the time it brings lot of diseases. Second, very important is water. I put water before the feed. Most of the time water is neglected, but if you see the consumption of water, it is almost twice of the feed. So if water is neglected, the amount of the pathogens which bird will be receiving is more as compared to feed. So next is water, then feed, then own litter. There are different husbandry practices throughout the globe. In some part, per batch litter is removed. In some part, the litter is reused for 2 batches or 3 batches of the meat type of bird, and they harbor a lot of infections that can be a source. Most important, manned material visitors and vehicles. These are the very, very important uh, elements, I would say, to bring the pathogens to the farm. Apart from that, which is not visible, that is wind, dust. If population density is very high in that per square kilometer, if you see bird population density is very high, then these things are very important. Contaminated hand feeds equipments. Mostly I have seen in small farmers, particularly the farmers which are small, if by chance they do the brooding of more birds, they usually hire the equipment from neighboring farms. And that causes a lot of problems. So better you don't do it. Better you have the less number of birds housed than the having some feed or equipments from your neighbors. Other birds, that is the most important criteria, the visiting birds, which sits on the tree, they come to the lake and bringing a lot of infection. Last year was very disastrous for we people. So we have a lot of infections coming from the visiting birds. So we should have the restriction for their entry to our farm. Actually, on biosecurity, there can be a separate, complete 1 hour talk on this, but these are the few points which you should look after, or if you are advisor to someone, you should check these points from where the disease comes. The transmission is also vertical. As I told you, from parent birds, it comes to chicks, then it settles on the farm, and particularly if marriage disease problems are there, they are settling on the farm, and then once they settle, it is very difficult in the egg type of bird to get rid of that. Horizontal transmission, many things I have told you, but apart from that, flies, beetles, rodents, particularly egg type of birds, if you have flies, beetles, there are issues of worms, tapeworms, all these are there. Nutritional roots, feed and water already I have mentioned. So steps in biosecurity, these are not all, but regulation for the entry of personals, materials, and visitors' vehicles. Like if I have farm, I have a very big farm, wonderful farm, and I should not invite all my friends to my farm. I should not invite. Friends should be invited only in the home or in a restaurant or for a cup of tea or something. Have your friendship there, not on the farm. This is your business place. Business place should have least visitors. Visitor will come with the vehicle. Vehicle, you don't know where it is roaming and can carry infection. Vehicles, if at all it is coming, your own vehicle or commercial activity vehicles are coming, it should be well disinfected. Mostly the lifting type of uh, vehicles, which lifts either eggs or the broilers from your farm, that should be disinfected properly. Then personal, during the disease outbreaks, whenever there is outbreak or you have the personal protection equipment is required for the safety of the worker. There are certain infections like even influenza. So you should be very cautious to prevent the infection from the birds to the persons. So they should put the personal protection equipments, and there will be two advantages for this. One, the person will not be affected and he will not spread the infection to the other birds which are healthy. No visitors be allowed. Cleaning of water lines and tankers frequently. Frequently it doesn't mean daily, but depending the salinity of the waters, slimeness in the pipelines, and the water quality you have, you can decide if it is waterful. Everything is well after the batch it is bit compromised, then twice, means when you change the um, from starter to finisher, that time you do it. And if it is worst, then probably from changing from pre-starter to starter and then starter to finisher, you have to clean the water line depending on the quality of the water and the problems you have on the farm, that you should do it. And definitely, I'm very sure you will see the benefits of this cleaning purpose of the drinkers and feeders. Then there are certain steps like a disposal of the droppings and feces, very important in egg type of bird. There are certain norms also now in India. Also, it has been laid about the environmental pollution. So you have to see how to dispose this. Very very important. Very very important. Exchange of personnel and material should be avoided between two farms. If something is deficient, it is better to purchase than bringing it on from the neighboring farms. It is not, it should be always prevent, means you should make a prevention of that. It should not come from the other farm. If it is lying down there, don't bring it from there. Just have it from the fresh and then bring it to farm. Add a vigilance system for early detection. This vigilance system, I'm talking about the disease, but this vigilance system will also help you for the reduction in the theft. Reduction in the theft. So vigilance system is very good. Restrict entry to new birds. Already I mentioned dispose of the dead birds and example of the hand sanitizer here. Recently, we have experienced a global pandemic of the coronavirus infection. There are a lot of things that was done for the controlling of that and containment of the disease. But I tell you, the best thing which saved us, all human beings, is hand sanitizer. It is not very expensive. It is not definitely very expensive, but it has helped us to control a lot of infections. So that's what I'm saying. In biosecurity, it can be very, very expensive. It can be very, very cheap also. But see which is more applicable and which is more beneficial to you and cost benefit it can give, that you choose and use it wisely. So for disinfection, maybe of the farm after cleaning, you have done the farm cleaning of the farm, and then you disinfecting the shed for the preparation of the next batch. You can use this farm clean, which has a BKC along with citric acids uh, in it, and it's a strong disinfectant. You can use it for your own farm for the disinfection to prevent the diseases in the next batch. Then third aspect is effective health management. One was biosecurity, and next is, so basic concept in this is, it do not allow the disease condition to happen. But saying this is not that simple. It is not that simple. When you are making a husbandry of 1,000 birds or maybe 100,000 birds is more. So, but all effort should be made that there should not be disease condition. For that, you have to adhere to three basic things: vaccination, medication, and management schedule, whatsoever it may be. So, depending on the situation of your farm, the climatic zone, or the disease prevalence in your area, as per your consultant, whatever he has suggested, the vaccination schedule, it has to be adopted. If you have a type of bird, you have a lot of vaccination. If it has to be done on 45th week of the production, it can be done on 46th, but it has to be done. Medication schedule, certain medication schedule is very, very important, like giving of liver tonics, supplementation of the vitamins, oral vitamins, immune boosters, then deworming schedule. All these, it has to be followed. It has specification. It has done depending on your area and uh, the disease issues there. Managemental schedule, that whatever the managemental schedule you are adopting there, that you have to do like cleaning of watering, water channels, cleaning of feeding channels, debeaking of the birds, um, all these you have to do it. Routine health checkups is required. If you have a veterinarian on your farm, it is well and good. You should do the necropsy of the birds, which are daily. Any veterinarian is visiting on the farm. If any veterinarian, whatever the mortality is there on that day, it may be 1 or 10, or percentage may vary. It's not only that you have a huge mortality and then only you will do the necropsy. So whenever he is visiting, request him to conduct the post-mortem examination. This is the first early alarm to any disease. You may not notice killing bird in the flock very instantly if you are making a what you say making a visit to that shed. But if you are conducting a post-mortem of the dead bird by a veterinarian, he will immediately know the what disease is coming to this flock, and you can do the requirement for the controlling on containment of the disease very fast. Conduct routine titer monitoring for the vaccination that you are doing. I would suggest indicator vaccination. Uh, First is the Newcastle disease. If you do this in India, it is very important because there is a high prevalence of it. The disease burden is very high. So if you do the monitoring of the titer of the Newcastle disease, it gives an idea about the immunity status of the bird for other diseases also. If you are having the egg type of bird and if you are vaccinating for the salmonella, I have shown you one graph here. If you are doing it for salmonella vaccination, you can monitor the titer. And uh, it is very important to know that whether you are vaccinated is effective or not, whether it is working or not. So titer monitoring is very, very important. Then promptly address any clinical signs. So if postmortem is not possible, and as soon as the illness is noticed by the labor or a supervisor or the owner itself or a veterinarian working there, whosoever it may be, first it is the labor who usually come at the illness, sign of illness, then supervisor, and then the farm manager. This is the sequence. So train them so that they should recognize it. May not be it is so technically sound that they should know the disease, but at least they should notice the healing and non-healing bird. That's all. If you notice that, then the process can be started as early as it will happen. It is more better for the effective health management. So in this health management, this is one picture which I'm showing you. If there are viral challenges, you have a vaccination to control over it. If you have bacterial challenge or coccidial challenge, you have a medication available with you to control that. For biosecurity, you have a powerful disinfection which prevents the infection to the farm, and look after the immunity. Check the regular titers of the bird, particularly in egg type of bird. You have to check the titer because you have to maintain the birds for 100 weeks or production weeks, 80 weeks. If you say just production week, 80 weeks or more than 80 weeks, then regular monitoring of the immune status is very, very important. If you do this, probably the health will be managed in a very effective manner, which will help you in the having more production from these birds. So for this, Ashish Life Science has some good, like for cocci challenge, the amprolium 40%, very high concentration. It is available with them to increase the immunity. If the titer is less, you can see why the titers are less. But to boost the immunity, there is a liquid called Aciumin that can be used. and make the bird competent enough to defend the bacterial or viral infections so that they will not suffer with the disease. There are other solutions also um, that will help you for the taking care for the infections. Some antibiotics are there or anticoccidials are there that will help you to take care of the infectious pathology in the farm. Then one aspect which is most of the time ignored on any commercial business, we always see the production, marketing costs, like production costs, sellable cost, and then we do. But many of the times we overlook the overheads. Overheads is alternative tax. It is not taken by the government, but it is you are giving to your settings. That is overhead tax. So it should be reduced always. In these few things, I will tell you, these are not all things, but few things is proactive equipment maintenance. Proactive equipment maintenance is always beneficial. Like there is a means always we say prevention is better than cure. This is a term which every one of us knows. Same in the machinery system, it is a maintenance which is very important. It is a the cost is less, but its benefits are more. Like I tell you, vaccine. Vaccine is a prevention. Vaccine prevents the losses which are in multifold. Same is here. So you have to have the equipment maintenance. Then you have to have the strategy to prevent the costly breakdowns. If breakdowns happens, if your equipments are in maintenance, there will not be breakdown. And if there is a breakdown, it is always expensive. It is always expensive. Repairs is there or you have to replace. So it is always expensive. So also this maintenance will extend the life of your machinery, lifespan of your machinery. So in big setting, it is very, very important. In a smaller setting, you yourself can do it or get yourself trained to do the maintenance of your machinery, what you have. But if the setting is very big farm, very big machinery, very big are there, you can have the third party person for the maintenance of the equipment. He can come regularly because as per your contract, he has to come on the days you have decided. Plus, he has certain visits for the emergency breakdown. So that you have to do. It's a prevention, though it looks why to do it, why to pay to him. It's like a paying of insurance. It's like a paying. You feel that you are giving unnecessarily, but when it is required, it is always beneficial. So invest in the proactive maintenance of the equipments that you are using on your farm. Then next is prevention of the theft. So theft is done by mostly the animal which is moving on the four legs and the animal which is moving on two legs. Both, both they are involved in the theft. So first is rodent, which is who is many times blamed. So they they are often found in the storage warehouse or even in the farm. If you didn't construct it nicely to prevent the entry of them in the farm, you can find them. And each rodent, average, I tell you, whether it's small or big, I don't know. There are participants from different part of the globe. So depending on the size of the different rats, but average it is one rat is eating 30 gram of feed per day. Per day, 30 gram average. So if you see one rat, already there are 20 rats moving in your farm and they are consuming that much feed. So they consume feed, also they contribute for the wastage. And very important, particularly in the uh, egg type of bird, they do the feed contamination for E. coli and Salmonella. They are the natural, their intestinal tract has the Salmonella in them. So their pellet, their droppings will contaminate the feed and may transmit the Salmonella typhimurium and other disease, not Gallinarum or Chlororum. but typhimurium, enteritis, which are more uh, injurious to the human health, they are transmitted by them. So rodent infestation has to control. And second is the worker. This is a very important. This is something what a psychology. Many worker, if you see, they have a practice of doing this. They have practice. So maybe in the production system, whether it is a feed production system, animal production, like poultry production system, production is there. There will be theft. Even in the distribution, if you see in India, we have like integration. There are different lines. Like for that one lane, there is a one supervisor, and he goes on placing the birds on that route. Different farms are there. He do lot of mischiefs. This has happened many times in our country. I'm not sure whether it happens in other countries. True, but wherever human beings are there, have some documentation system, accountability of each worker, each supervisor, each farm manager. Accountability should be there. And if you compare, you can have a rewards for the good worker. You can have punishment for the who is not good. But unless you have a documentation and accounting of it, it is not possible. So have and learn this. If you are doing well so far, well, very well. But if not, then you have to start it. And CCTV camera uh, is better over this. Most of the labor do not follow the orders. CCTV camera settings is very important, and it solves the problem in many instances. Next is profit making, how to increase the profit. I have shown you three, four pictures here. They are from India and one from outside. So Lucius is the very important brand of the marketing. Chicken meat marketing, now they have entered in fish and mutton also and egg marketing. So they have invested very nicely, and now a lot of people they are buying it. Though it is expensive, but there are certain class in each country, they are ready to pay for the quality and the brand, for the brand value. There are certain people in each country. So have establishing your own brand, and if you are giving the home deliveries, nothing like that, you can have a premium price. I'm not saying you do it for the whole of your production. Like if you are producing daily, just an example, 100,000 eggs per day, you can have a value added product just for 10,000 eggs, which you have, which you can sell at premium price, and another 90,000 eggs you can sell with the routine price. So this 10,000 value added product at premium price will help you to build up more and more profit. And today it is 10,000, tomorrow it can be 20,000, 30,000, like that it can be increased. So for exploring the eggs, you can do it for organic eggs branding, no antibiotics forever, no antibiotics contained in it. Like there, you can have some marketing gimmick in it. Then you can have enriched eggs like selenium enriched, zinc enriched, ferrous enriched. So it is like attracting the people, and this can be done. This can be done, I tell you. Now you can see on the right side there is a Yojna Poultry, which is based in Pune, very big farm. So they have omega brown eggs. So they claim that there is omega-3 fatty acid more in their eggs. So I don't say that you do it for whole of your settings. Like if you have a 100,000 lane capacity shed, just in one lane or two lanes of 10,000, 8,000, 20,000, depending on the setting, you give the enriched feed for the production of tailor-made eggs or value-added eggs, and then you market it like that. It can establish your own brand and do it. In Nagpur, I have advising some of the farmers for selenium-rich eggs. They sell it separately at the premium price, and 10% of their eggs, other 10 or 90%, they just sell it like that. And for this value added eggs, you can have the quality on the yolk color and all other things, and enhanced quality will definitely pay you. Now coming to next topic about the feed and its manipulation. Uh, so this is the basic composition of the feed, and antibiotics, it used to be a integral part of it. And antibiotics which are used in the feed, mostly they are in the prevention mode: chlortetracycline, bacitracin, virginomycin, and these are the to be added in a for the prevention of the diseases in the broiler or layer settings both. And these were the rate. But nowadays there is a very much awareness amongst the consumer is there, and a lot of pressure is there for banning of these antibiotic or growth promoters in the chicken diet. And many of the countries it is banned. In even India, it is some of the antibiotics which are banned. There are certain antibiotics which are used in the therapeutics. There are different classes of it, like penicillin, cephalosporin, sulfa drugs, quinolones, like ciprofloxacinins, and all their quinolones, very hugely and rampantly used. Macrolides, azithromycin, or something like that. They are macrolides, and they are being well used. Of course, they are more used in humans than poultry, but still, as a therapeutics, it has been used, and the residual effect residues are found in the meat or egg, and that is creating a problem in the marketing of the poultry products. So we have to learn and go further step ahead for this. These antibiotics are mostly used to as a growth promoter, increase egg production, then reduce pathogenic infection and feed efficiency. But now we have to, as they are banned, we have to see for the certain things which can be used wisely as an alternative to antibiotic, or when you don't use antibiotic, prevent the infection to the birds, how we can use it. So for this, there are different solutions. Uh, if you remove the antibiotics from the feed, there are different solutions you can think of. One is prebiotic, probiotic. Now the term has come postbiotics also. So one additional term, enzymes, immunostimulants, organic acid, use of organic acids in the feed. And since last 2 decades, the phytogenic additives, they are gaining a lot of popularity as well as the benefits also they are gaining. So these are the different alternatives we will see one by one. As a bird eye view, how they work and how they are good. So prebiotic, basically it's a prebiotic means the bacteria uses it. Bacteria uses it for the beneficial of the host. So it's a non-digestible food ingredient, non-digestible. The chicken cannot digest it, but the bacteria can digest it. Bacteria can uptake it and multiply. The beneficial bacteria will multiply and help the host. The host is chicken for the increased production. Basically, it started for humans, so they say colon. But now the prebiotics, they are very good and they are being found to be working very good in jejunum and sika for the chicken. And they basically, they help the beneficial bacteria to multiply than the pathogens. If you see their types, they are mostly polysaccharides. Mostly polysaccharides, fructooligosaccharides, glucooligosaccharides, maltooligosaccharides, stachos. Stachos are certain things which are present in the soybean itself. It's a combination of different saccharides. So, soya diet, we always see we should use soya, maize, and soya based diet because it has integral statues, and that is beneficial. So there are different types. These oligosaccharides being utilized by the beneficial bacteria present in the gut and help the host for the increased production. Then the next term is probiotics. Nowadays it is called directly fed microbials. Some new term is used, but it is one and the same. It's an old idea, use of probiotics, mostly lactobacillus, but now it is called directly fed microbials. These are the live microbial supplements which beneficially affects the animal for improving the intestinal balance. Very long term use, 40 years, 50 years back, a lot of research has been used since long with giving varied results. Why there is a varied results? Depending on the type, which type of probiotic you are using. So bacillus bacteria, they have certain advantages and limitation. I'm not saying disadvantages, but limitation. Bifidobacterium also has certain advantages and certain limitations. Enterococcus, E. coli, good type of E. coli, not pathogen. Lactobacillus, Lactococcus, Streptococcus, variety of the yeast species, Saccharomyces, cerevisiae, Saccharomyces, Boulardii, Saccharomyces. A lot of things are there. So all these, one of them cannot serve the all-purpose. Anyone, if you take like Clostridium organism, Clostridium usually we call it as a pathogen, but Clostridium bitricum, which is a class of that Clostridium, is a beneficial because it produces bitric acid. But its action is only production of bitric acid, not other. So all of these probiotics, they have different ways of mechanism to act, different advantages they have, and certain limitations also they have. So for a problem, I cannot suggest you to use only A bacteria or some. I can suggest only use B, C, or Z bacteria, but not all of them. So the use of probiotics should correlate with the problems which earlier you had on your farm, and then use appropriate probiotics on that farm. So their mode of action, depending on the different type of bacteria, it's a competitive exclusion, or there is a crosstalk between the epithelium of the host and these microorganism, and they prevent the colonization of the pathogen. Also, they are immunity boosters. They improve the gut immunity. These probiotics, feeding of probiotics to the or adding them in the feed helps the development of immunity of the birds. And in birds, if you say after maturity, particularly egg type of bird, after maturity, the thymus and bursa are regressed. So all the work of immunity is being done by the gut. Gut is the very important organ for the immunity. So that improvement is done by these probiotics. So I am showing here you two pictures. On the left side, there is a picture how it prevents the attachment of pathogenic bacteria to the gut. So basically, if the probiotics are not fed, the pathogenic bacteria attaches to the gut wall, they enter and produce the disease. But if probiotics are fed or the beneficial bacteria are fed, they block the site for the pathogen to bind and prevent the disease. And on the right side, I have shown you these are the beneficial bacteria or the probiotics. They produce lot of active components like some peptides, antimicrobial peptides are they produce some short chain fatty acids, particularly butyric acid, formic acids. They are also being produced. And with these different mechanisms, also they compete with the food substrate to the pathogens. And so the number is reduced. Short chain fatty acids, which is locally produced, instantly act on the pathogens, it destroys them. Antimicrobial peptides, they are produced locally, maybe in minimum quantity, but they are locally available and they destroy the pathogens. So like that, a lot of different defenses and all others are produced by them, and they help the uh, host for prevention of these multiplication of the pathogenic bacteria. Apart from these bacteria, they help the immune system to work, and they keep the immune system always on active mode to prevent the pathogen. So ultimately, the effect is it improves the gut health, it improves the nutrient utilization. There can be increase in the production 4 to 10%. Like if you are selling 2 kg broiler, there can be additional gain of 100 gram to 200 gram by feeding this. Then improve perform in food feed conversion ratio, that can be also reduced, decrease production cost, all these, and decrease the potential pathogen count in the gut by log 10 1 to 1.5. Log 10, this is log 10 value. And this is a very good paper published in 2017, which have evaluated all this. You can see this paper and go through it. Next component, which is very important to take care of these antibiotics, how you can rely on, means if you remove the antibiotics, you can rely on organic acids. Basically, organic acid has this basic structure. This basic structure is of organic acid, and this structure they can be found. You can find it in formic acid, acetic acid, propionic acid, butyric acid, lactic acid, with the variation in the carbon from 1 to 7, and they are hyperactive organic acids. So as soon as they come in the contact, they will kill the organism. So they are hyperactive short chain fatty acids, very important, and you can use them. Basically, formic acid, when it acts, this is example of formic acid, HCOOH is a formic acid. And this is example I'm telling you. Once this formic acid comes in contact with the bacteria, it ruptures the cell wall. Also, when it enters into the cell, it has been metabolized and hydrogen ion is out. And this hydrogen ion, when it is out, it damages the DNA of multiplication, which is required for multiplication, and also damages the storehouse of the energy storehouse of the bacteria. And this is how the bacteria is killed. And it is very instant, very fast they do. So earlier also I have said you there are certain probiotics which produce this at the local site, short chain fatty acids, very active, and the pathogens are damaged. So this is how they act. So their action is decrease the gut pH value, which is required for the multiplication of beneficial bacteria. They can be antibacterial, antifungal in the feed. When you add it in the feed, particularly formic acid, when you add it in the feed, it can be used for the sterilization of the feed. I don't know how many countries it has been allowed, but at least in India it has been allowed. But in European countries and America, it is banned now. Use of formic acid for certain health issues of the personnel working in the feed factory. Then few of the organic acids activate the pepsinogen to form pepsin, which is very important and required for the protein digestibility, improving the protein digestibility. So that can be helped. It causes inhibition of the pathogenic gram-negative bacteria, mostly Salmonella, E. coli, and help the host. Also, it is beneficial for the energy utilization of the host. This is also the research work which is published in 2016. You can visit this and study more. Organic acid, as like probiotic, there are certain effects. One mostly used in the layer type of bird, so because we have to rear for the long period of time, and there are chances of getting antibiotic residues in the eggs. So organic acid can replace the antibiotic to be added in the feed. There are variable results, but good results are there. The feed consumption can be improved. There are certain breeds of egg type of bird which has a very low feed consumption, and because of that, the egg mass or egg weight is very small, and which is not sold in the market. In that condition, you can use it. Improved FCR. This is the old figure of 2009 by Dr. Park from South Korea. So they could see the 0.12 improvement in the FCR, increase in the egg mass and decrease in the soft shell eggs. All are the effects seen by different persons, and they have reported it. Then coming to another approach which has been used since last 2 decades, again the use of enzymes. Nowadays we always say that superdosing of the enzyme should be used. So apart from the substrate, targeting the substrate, there are certain benefits also been found by the use of superdosing of the enzymes, particularly phytase is very beneficial for the gut health. There are a lot of research done on it. It has been published, and also on the commercial farm, it has been seen that phytase used for making available of phosphorus, it has many advantages beyond that, improving the gut health. So you can use phytase, xylanase, amylase, protease, depending on the substrate which you have in your feed, the enzymes has to be added. And that's why I said to replace, to have the protein and energy in your diet, you can search for the local feed resource which is available, which is cheaper than the expensive one. And if it has certain anti-nutritional factors or the energy or proteins they are hidden in the mass, you can use enzymes and make it more available to the bird and use it in the diet to reduce the feed costs. Beta glucans is a wonderful molecule. I would suggest it has been discovered since last 3 decades. It has a multipotential effect, particularly on immunity. It is wonderful. You can use it. Mode of action, already I have mentioned it here. Then last alternative, what we have in our hand is the botanicals. Botanical is a very broad term, very, very broad term. Uh, from trees to shrubs to herbs and many things that all encompasses in a botanicals. If you see the classification and how we can use it, so we can use these botanicals in the form of herbs using the complete herbs, complete herbs. You can use it in the oleoresins, which is a non-volatile portion of these herbs, and essential oil, which is a volatile oil present in these herbs. Each and every aspect, these elements like essential oils, oleoresins, and herbs, they have different activity. I'm working on this aspect particularly to tackle AMR since last 8 years, and we have certain good leads also on it. Each of them, they are wonderful if they are used in a wise manner. Essential oil, they have a different role. Oleoresins, they have a different role, and whole herb has certain different roles. They have to use it uh, very wisely. Like I will give you example. Like if you are using menthol and plant whole as a herb as a whole, it has a different activity. And menthol, which is the essential oil, it has a different activity. It's a volatile. So you have to use it wisely. Wonderful, it can be used. So they have different mechanism of action. One way is better development of the digestive structure and maintain it. Not only develop but maintain also it very nicely. Another way is it helps the intestinal microflora, beneficial microflora to increase in the number and reduce the pathogen. This is very selective action, which is not being shown by the antibiotics. Antibiotics, they have a sword for the all bacteria. They will kill beneficial, they will kill pathogens also. But these phytomolecules, they are very selective in their action. They kill pathogens and they help the beneficial bacteria in the gut. And ultimately, all this leads to better utilization of the feed, maybe used for meat purpose or for the egg purpose. Utilization of feed is better and the production is increased. So these are certain anti these are certain botanicals or the molecules, particularly essential oils, which can be used for certain against certain pathogens, and these are different references. We are working since last 10 years. A lot of work has also been published. Near about 17, 18 papers we have published on the essential oil and nanoparticles use of both in combination for tackling antimicrobial resistance, targeting Salmonella and E. coli. So our experience was same. If you manipulate them very nicely, they will kill the pathogen, but not the beneficial bacteria. So Ashish Life Science also has some essential oil supplement that is bronchoheal for the respiratory tract affections. I won't say infections, but affections. Infections, I have no experience, but affections definitely it can take care, at least mucolytic action and all those action and help the bird to increase the respiration or make the respiratory passage clear and it can be used. So it's now time to change. We have to move from antibiotic to non-antibiotic era, and it's not that simple. Many countries they have started doing it and they are facing a lot of problems because they did it just because some strict regulations were there, but now they have faced problems. So when we are changing it, there is a time to change. We have to change, but the change, the path which we select, it should be very wise path we should select. What to use, whether to use prebiotic, whether to use postbiotic, probiotic, postbiotic, or essential oil, or organic acids, that you have to decide. And there cannot be a single bullet for all the problems. You have to choose the bullet as per the problem. So change is the only constant. You have to change and choose the perfect pathway which is required for you. So this is from Ashish Life Science. You can ask the questions, you can put it in the chat box. The moderators, they will look into it and they will put the questions to me. And if it is possible for me to answer, I will try to answer. Thank you. Thank you for patience listening. Please excuse me if I have exceeded the limit, but I try to control myself also. I'm a professional teacher. I'm been trained to take class of two hours. So please forgive for that if I have exceeded my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Shall I
Guru.
stop sharing?
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's a great, insightful presentation, and it would be really helpful for our audience. Once again, thank you. Now, question answer session is live, and we are going to read one by one question, sir. I have already enlisted. It is in both in webinar chat also and in question answer session also. So I will take one by one.
Hmm.
So first question was how you look purchasing ingredients in bulk, whether it will solve the problem as it may. There is cost fluctuation in feed items, storage problems like soybean, and other issues are considered.
Yes.
Yeah.
So purchasing in bulk, I was mentioning it here. That was for reduction of the cost. Definitely, you have to plan it accordingly so that if you are storing it for 6 months, how it should be stored so that there should not be fungal contamination and there should not be problem of the uh, mycotoxicosis. And if you are adding fungicide to it, again, it's a double-edged sword. If you are adding fungicide to prevent the fungus growth, the residual effect should not come in the prepared formulation. So purchasing in bulk ahead of the time will save your price. But when you are storing it, the storage practices should be adopted nicely and in a planned manner. So if you are using fungicide to prevent the mycotoxicosis, see the half-life of that fungicide which you are using and use those ingredients after the half-life has been passed. After again 15 days, I will give more. Means say my concept is if 100 is the time limit, use 110. So if half-life is 1 month, use 33 days and then use it. So give 10% more. You can, but the cost of storage will be definitely less than the cost of price you are paying if you are buying at monthly level or a 15 days level or a weekly level.
Now the second question is, since feed accounts for the largest portion of poultry production cost, what cost-effective feed formulation or alternative feed resources can farmer adopt without compromising growth and egg production? I think that already.
Yeah, yes, actually, to be very frank, I am a pathologist. I am not a nutritionist. But being working in this field since 1991, so now almost 3 decades, 3 decades at least, 3.5 decades in this. So little bit knowledge I have also, I would suggest you to contact a better nutritionist and you see the resources available. Nowadays, we are working here on the DDGS. There are a lot of issues with the DDGS using DDGS are available since last 10 years with varied problems, lot of problems. But if you see, if you use it wisely with the proper treatment and checking means checking for the mycotoxic and anti-nutritionals in what you are purchasing. Definitely, you can add it in the feed. There is a limitation which has already been said that you cannot use more than the 10%. Here in Nagpur, we have made the formulation for going up to 20%, having a close eye watch on the quality of the DDGS, you can increase up to 20% in the diet, at least in the layer diet, and reduce the cost. This is one suggestion I'm saying you, but in Rajasthan, there are different protein sources available. In northern part, different protein sources available. See the merits and demerits of them and use it. Better way, consult the nutritionists which is practicing in your area. Like if your farm is in the Uttar Pradesh and if you are hiring a nutritionist from Tamil Nadu, it won't serve. The person who has a adequate knowledge of your local area can be used.
Yes, yes. And regarding this Ethiopia, let me answer this. How do we get these supplements? Are they available in Ethiopia? As you know, some of our supplements are available in different countries. Somewhere it is not available. So we are in process to make available all the products in every country. And for Ethiopia, we are going to give you the separate number of our BDM, Dr. Choko Lingam sir. You will get his number and mail ID through mail, right?
Number is already mentioned in
Okay.
the
Question answer
question answer session.
So every query of Ethiopia can be solved by him. And there are 3 questions from Ethiopia that is somehow similar. So I will come on the next question, sir. Since feed accounts for the largest portion of poultry production cost, yeah, I'd already taken. Is there any technology that are used to determine the biosecurity label of poultry farm? I am very interested to take this training if there is biosecurity standards like that.
Biosecurity is a very bigger topic. I have included in a manner that everyone should be. And biosecurity, it differs from actually farm to farm. If you see the location, then visit the farm and then proper suggestions can be given. There are certain thumb rules which I have mentioned it here that you have to prevent the entry in the farm, and the ways of entries are this. The problem, any of the entry is missing, that has to be checked. That has to be checked. So maybe by bacterial pathogen, viral pathogens, that can be checked. One example I will quote, there is a published article from Iran. So one farm used to have the dogs on the farm and they used to feed the dead birds to them. So there was a Newcastle disease on a farm. The dogs, they ate those birds and took that Newcastle disease virus to the other farm and went there also to eat the dead birds there. And through their droppings, they spread the Newcastle disease virus in the other farm. There was a strict biosecurity except disposal of the dead birds. And these dogs, they carried infection there. So biosecurity is nothing like only one thing I tell you and you can do all, depending on the situation of the farm, where it is and what problem you are facing. For bacterial problem, you have different approach. For viral problems, you have different approach. So holistic approach should be taken care.
Right. One question is from Dr. Tulisha. Regarding to feed additive, how you see public health issues, especially with growth promoters?
Feed additives, basically public health issues is concerned with the environmental contamination. Nowadays, there is a lot of issues concerning to the environmental contamination, mostly the phosphorus and the minerals which are going in the environment, leaching in the environment from the farm. It is being a big concern. It is better way it is to be processed. Litter material has to be processed. There are certain companies in India also, they started producing some fuel material for it or a fertilizer for it from it. And if you use that, the contamination can be reduced. Firstly, it will take care of the all bacterial and viral pathogens which are being transmitted to, supposed to be transmitted to humans. And secondly, the environmental health hazard issues like elements and minerals which are excreted in the poultry feces, that can be also taken care.
Right. And one more question that is similar. What about the drug residue issue if we use as a growth promoter?
Drug residues? Can you repeat the question?
What about the drug residue issue? If if you are using growth promoters.
If you are using antibiotic as a growth promoter, definitely there will be issue of a drug residue issue. Definitely. I have shown you four antibiotics which are mostly being used, uh, chlorotetracycline, bacitracin, and all these. They have their half-life period for the poultry. And usually it is long more than 4 days, 5 days. So you have, if you are using it, you have to have the holding period, stop feeding before the sale for that much time, and then monitor also. It is not just like that. You have to monitor, not for the all batches, but at least when you are using it, monitor for the first batch that whatever the produce of your farm produce, maybe egg or a meat, check it. If it's antibiotic, you can increase the holding period, withholding period by 1 or 2 days. Be sure that there are no residues and then sell it. It is permitted. That is permitted. But people usually don't do that. That's the issue. And it is not possible in egg type of farm because if you give it, you cannot throw all those eggs which have been produced. So in that condition, alternatives will be very beneficial.
One question from Yes Garg, sir, which is better practice, phase feeding or precision feeding? Precision feeding
I
actually
am,
practical at common level. Yeah.
yeah, it is there, but I am to be very sorry. Please excuse me, whosoever has asked the question. Uh, I'm not in a position to answer this. I'm not a nutritionist. Please excuse me. Maybe I will have to learn it and then let you know.
No, no, we will enlist this question to us, and then
Yeah.
we will try to answer this question after some time.
Yeah.
And doctor, can you please repeat the question in question answer? If you can take 3 or 4 questions from there.
Thank you.
Sir, one another question asked by Alex Changa is what is the best method to control rodent?
Rodent.
Yeah.
Rodent is very, very difficult. Uh, I have one presentation on about controlling of rodent, but I would suggest to uh, consult the agriculture expert. There are certain rodent control experts from in the agriculture field. So there are different mechanisms of controlling rodents. Usually, what we use is the rodenticide. There are different types of rodenticide. Basic thing I would suggest here, whatever the rodenticide you are using, don't use for the same rodenticide for next 3 months because rats has a memory of 56 days. And if you use a type of rodenticide and use it again after 1 month, they won't eat. So after 90 days or after 60 days, that will be more effective. And their breeding habitat site where they breed, that has to be destroyed. That has to be destroyed. That is very important. If Dr. Navneet and Abhijit, I have one recommendation on the rodenticide. I will share that my presentation to you on the 2, 3 slides are there, not more. How to control on the poultry farm. I will share it to you. You can sit out onto them and we can interact.
Okay. Okay, so sure. We'll share it.
I learned it from the FAO expert on the rodent control for agriculture field.
Okay. Then Dr. Gutama Sintayo has asked that how I design poultry house for modern production. That will be a big topic, I know.
Yeah, I'd say, but there are certain thumb rules in that. Uh, when you design a poultry house, you have to see first the direction of the poultry house, how the sun rays, whether they are coming in or going out, how is the wind in that location that you have to see. Wind should pass through. Wind should pass through. Ventilation should be there if you are designing an open house shed. The width is very important, length is not that important. Width is very important. Usually we keep 10 meters width in India. The wind velocity we have and the directions we have a limitation of having the width of 10 meters so that air can move. If you are designing the environmental control shades, then length is an important issue. The distance between cooling pad to fan is a very important issue. If it is more, then there is suffocation of the bird at the center. So if it's an open house system, you have to width is 10 meters, and if it's a easy shade, width should not be more than 450 feet, means 150 meters or something like that, not more than that. So that you have to decide. These are few basic thumb rules. Then if it is a very hot and humid climate, you have to think like that. Hot, you have to do the roof, design the roof accordingly that the temperature is controlled, not coming down. Like that you have to see. In which from which country he is?
I'm not sure, sir, it is from which country. It was asked by
Oh, it's okay.
Dr. Getu Abera.
Mm.
Okay. Um, Sir, next question is more than, I should say one thing that more than questions, many people have overwhelmed or congratulated for the best presentation which you have given. So since this is not
Thank
a
you.
public chat platform, so everyone will not be able to see the messages. So I just wanted to tell
Yeah.
that people are, many people from many part of the world, many part of the globe are appreciating your presentation. So
Thank you. Thank you from my side too. You can convey to them. We
yeah,
can do one thing. You can club the question, and then we can make a like a one questionnaire and answer, and then circulate to the all registered participant whether he has asked or not.
That is the
It
best.
will yeah. So we can, you can answer few of them, I can answer few of them, and we can make an answer and then circulate to all so that they should not feel that, okay, I asked, but I am not been noticed properly. I have not been given proper attention. So
one, I think we can discuss for some more time regarding some of the important questions asked by many people.
yeah, please.
One question by Dr. Geddu Abera was that what is the best acaricides used in poultry houses and on the poultry body?
Delta methrin we use with some use that you can use it, but with caution and care, with very much caution and care. There are certain, particularly this is problem in EC shade in India also. The mite issue is there and a lot of issues are there. Some preparations are also available. They are wonderful. They are not toxic to the bird. You can use spray on the bird. It will take care. Non-toxic to the bird. Even production is not dropped. They are using phytomolecules. They are there. Also use of clay. When clay is there, so when these ticks or mites they walk through it, they immediately die. Those preparations are also available. But that is also not toxic to the bird. You can spray, sprinkle, or dust the birds and take care of that. But I would suggest in this case, please prevent the entry of the rats on the farm. They bring all these ticks, mites to the farm. So if you prevent their entry, automatically it will take care. When once they bring it, they spread very fastly, they multiply very fastly, and it is very difficult to control. Not only bird, but the workers are also they tend to leave the job. So you can do it. There are 2, 3 preparations available. Uh, it's being your platform. I don't want to take the name, but there are preparations available which are not toxic to the bird. You can use for the spray dusting to the birds. That will take care, and some uh, powders are there. Basically, they are hygroscopic powder, not hygroscopic. They are they absorb the water from the ticks and mites, and they immediately die. It's a clay basically.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Then Dr. Gudama Sindayo has asked a question. What is the problem when the hen lay the soft eggs?
Yeah, soft shell eggs is a multifactorial thing. First, you have to check the titers for Newcastle disease and infectious bronchitis. Check the titers if you are vaccinated. Then see the calcium phosphorus uh, content in the diet, vitamin D, how much you are adding it excess or adding it less. So these things you have to check. You have a supplement called calci, some supplement you have that you can advise, but I would suggest you
Calvitamin
to
is
have
sir.
the titer
We
check.
have our calvitamin.
Yeah, yeah. Check the titers because in subclinical Newcastle disease, subclinical IB, there will be soft shell eggs will be laid down. This is I'm telling the experience of India. Maybe in their country, if they have egg drop syndrome or some other diseases prevalent, they have to check for it. But mostly it is nutritional, calcium and phosphorus, vitamin D supplementation that they have to check.
Sir, since there is short lack of time, we'll be discussing the last two more questions, two more important questions which were asked by many people. So remaining questions, as we have discussed, we'll be sharing them the presentation, and also we'll prepare a question Q&A session, and we'll make it into make it into Word format or PDF format, and that can be shared to the people who have attended the meeting. So another question was asked by Dr. Tolesa Ebisa. Doctor has asked how purchasing bulk feed ingredients will fluctuate in cost season wise, and how you see the storage challenges.
I answered this
Yeah.
earlier also.
Yes.
If you see the dynamics in the price, when the commodity is produced, whether maize or soya or any other commodity, when it is produced freshly coming out of the farmland, it is always cheaper. If you buy and have a backward integration and purchase it and store, while storage, definitely there will be some losses in the weight because of the reduction in the moisture. And that is what we also require it. There should be less moisture so that storage keeping it will increase. And there are certain norms of the storage when you store, how it should be stored, how many stacking should be there, and how many width it should be there, how the ground should be there. So these norms can be adopted. Purchasing in advance will be definitely cost effective than the purchasing the ingredients in a expensive time.
This would be the last question, sir. This was asked by Gideon Kipelgat. He has asked, alternative feed sources can be challenging in meeting FCR, especially in layer enterprise. Any remedy on that to avoid egg drop in my flock?
Definitely, alternative feed resource will be use of it will be challenging. I agree for his opinion, his or her, whosoever it may be, her opinion that it is a challenging. Uh, there can be a reduction in the egg production by 0.5% or 1%. But if you see the cost of production per 100 eggs, that is an indicator. How much you are investing to get the 100 eggs produced. If you see that, the wisely used of alternative resources available with you, with the addition of additives and supplement, definitely will reduce the cost of production of 100 eggs on your farm. Production is not important. After all, we are doing a business for earning money, not for pride. So if my cost of production of 100 eggs is less, I would go for that than having a false pride of having 98% production, but my cost of production is more. This will be my approach or my suggestion.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So, by this, we'll come to the end of the discussion. Otherwise, it will keep on going on. So,
Okay.
after that, also many people are congratulating you on the good presentation and the importance of this topic, and you have covered all the good aspects or all the best aspects regarding economical poultry farming. So, once again, we thank you for
Yeah.
your best
Please convey
presentation.
my thanks and thanks for their good words for me. Thank you very much for their love and affection. Thank you.
One minute, sir.
Sir, before ending this webinar, as we have announced in the first or in the poster that we'll be announcing 3 lucky winners. So now we'll be doing the lucky draw. So online itself, so that it is not having any disparity. So those who have attended the complete meeting, who have done or have the 100% attendance, the that people will be selected for the spinner. Yeah. So congratulations, Dr. Vangelu Kebedi. So Dr. Vangelu Kebedi has been selected as the prize one in this champion of this webinar of International Poultry Webinar. So congratulations, Dr. Vangelu. So now we will be spinning for the position of second position. Congratulations, Dr. Izaz Ahmad Sweet. So Dr. Izaz Ahmad Sweet has been selected as the second position. So congratulations, Doctor. Now for the lucky spin for the third prize. Congratulations, Noreen Maxilla Zimindo. So Noreen has been selected as the third prize in our lucky spin in this international poultry webinar. So congratulations to all the winners and also to all the participants. Those who have not won a prize, don't mind. Then the next webinar you will be able to get a prize. So congratulations all the winners and all the participants. So respective ESM from the respective country, the participants who have secured the prizes, the respective sales manager and our sales team will be following you up. Sales team will be contacting you. So congratulations everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thanks once again to you, sir.
Thank you all.
So we'll call it a day.
Yes.
For this webinar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll conclude the meeting, sir. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the good presentation. Thank you for your time, your effort, and all the participants who have participated and eagerly waited till the end of the seminar. I think still almost the same strength which was there at the starting of the presentation is still there. And still the congratulations, nice session, thanks are overflowing. So we'll end up the presentation for now. Okay. Okay. Dr. Chokkalingam sir, can you please unmute your mic and please speak? Dr. Chokalingam, sir, you can unmute your mic. Kurkure sir, this is Dr. Chokalingam. He's our business development manager in Ethiopia.
Oh, nice.
So he wants to
Hello,
have.
how are you?
Yes, Dr. Chokalingam. Now you can ask the question, Dr. Chokalingam.
Video.
Hello, sir. Chokalingam, sir. You're audible, sir. You can talk.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Shall I leave the meeting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you very
some
much.
network issue.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Here, sir.